Hi everyone, I'm Virago. I'm back with another video because I got book mail. Yay, I'm so excited. So today is Saturday, April 20th. Happy 420 everyone. I actually got this box in the mail yesterday, but I had a lot of plans and I just couldn't get to it. So it's been sitting ever so patiently in the corner of my room waiting for me to open it. Let me start off this video by saying that technically I am in the midst of a book buying ban, because my goal is to actually start reading the books I own rather than constantly bringing in more and more and more books and just having a even larger TBR pile. As you can see, it's not going great. I'm also going to preface this by saying I already cut the seal on the box because I am a little klutzy and you guys don't need to see any of that, so I wanted to make sure that there were no incidents or accidents when opening the box. But I have not looked inside, and I honestly cannot remember what books I ordered because that's just what you do. You order books and then you forget. So, let's get into this box. Alright, so, as I'm knocking down my Funko Pops. Hang on, Goldar. Alright, so, first book in the box is Alice by Christina Henry, which is basically a retelling of the Alice in Wonderland story. Now, I don't like the original Alice in Wonderland story. I read the book. Seen the movies. Movies are great. Well, the Disney cartoon is great. Movies great. The book itself, it just didn't. I couldn't get into it. I didn't enjoy it. But I am a huge fan of retellings, and this sounds a little bit dark, like a darker retelling. And I've been looking at this book probably for about a year. I'm sure it's older than that, but I've been looking at it for about a year. It's been in my wish list, and I keep putting it in my cart, taking it out of my cart, and finally, the reason why I actually did this book box is because when I made a recent purchase, I got a free Visa gift card. So I thought the greatest excuse to buy books is because I'm not technically spending my own money, sort of. So finally, when I did this box, I said, okay, I'm finally just going to put this thing in my cart and read this dang book because it sounds interesting. And she has a few more books that are sort of kind of like a series. I believe there's one with like a Captain Hook retelling and one with the Red Queen retelling. So I feel like if I really like this one, then I'll probably check out the other books as well. So next is I Stopped Somewhere. I only have vague memories of what this book is about, but I do remember very recently seeing a lot of booktubers recommend it, and it sounded interesting from what they described. So of course when I saw that it was available on Book Outlet, I got it. And I believe this kind of has like a little bit of a dark element to it. It's a beautiful cover, and I don't just buy, well, no, okay, that's a lie. I do buy books just for the heck of buying books, but I usually do have a good reason for buying books, so I'm sure that this sounded really interesting, and that's why I added it to my cart. Let's see. Next is Little and Lion. I actually have seen a lot of booktubers recommend this when they were doing their LGBTQ recs, and it sounds great. It's got obviously the LGBTQ element to it. It's also got a mental health element to it, which I thought was interesting. I haven't really read very many books that touch on any kind of mental health or mental illnesses. So I got this not only for myself but for my daughter. I believe she watched a rec with me and she said, oh, that sounds great, Mom, we should look for that book. So this is why I got it, and you know, it sounds great. So let's see. Next, Legendary. I have the first book in this series. I have not yet read the first book in the series, but I am one of those people that once I own a book in a series that I am interested in, I can't control myself. I keep having to buy the next books in the series. And it doesn't matter. I mean, I am like books and books deep in some series, and I have only read one, if any, of the books in the series, but I just can't help myself. But it is a fantasy book, so I feel like I'm going to enjoy it. So, of course, I put it in my cart when I saw that it was available. Let's see. Next is The Last Magician. This book has a gorgeous cover. I really like that cover. I've looked at this book a lot over the last year or so when I've been looking at, you know, possibly ordering books or seeing what people are currently reading in the bookish community. I have very recently seen a lot of booktubers recommend this book, and they've really enjoyed it. And of course, it's fantasy, it's got magic, it's everything I love. So once I saw probably my third or fourth booktuber recommend this book well, the series, I said, okay, fine, I have to do it. That's all the excuse I need now. I'm getting the book. So I got the book, and I am really looking forward to reading it. Let's see, next, Akata Witch. Now, I actually just recently bought the Binti series from this author, which makes me sound like a lying liar who lies, because I just got done telling you guys I am in a book buying ban. However, for my birthday, which was in February, I treated myself to a book haul from Book Outlet, and I believe I had been looking at the Binti series probably for a good 6 months, and it's fantasy, and it's everything I like, and I finally just went ahead and bought it for myself for my birthday. So this was the book that I bought because I needed to spend a certain amount to get the free shipping. You have to spend $35 to get free shipping. However, I didn't just buy it for that reason. It's got some magic, and it seems like it has a little bit of a sci-fi feel to it, and I love it. I love fantasy and sci-fi, and I'm really looking forward to reading this, so I got it. Let's see. Next is The Inquisition. So I just bought the first book in this series. Okay, I didn't buy it. Let me not sound like I'm a total liar about this book buying thing. For my birthday, my mother, who is awesome, who gave me my love of reading and who encourages my ridiculous book buying habit, she actually took me out on a girly day, and we went to Barnes & Noble's, of course, and the first book in this series was part of the, I think it's buy 3, get the 4th book free, or buy 2 and get the 3rd book. I can't remember which one it is, but it's one of those buy some money, get one free. Sounded interesting. It's a YA, it's fantasy, it's got action and adventure and magic, and of course I had to buy it. So when I saw that book 2 in the series was available on Book Outlet, of course I bought it. So that's book 2 in the series. And book 3. Because, as I've said before, once I buy the first book in a series, I can't help myself. I have to just keep adding on until I have the whole series, even if I haven't read the books yet. Now, of course, so this was available, so I bought it. So that is the actual last book in my box. It's a very small haul. I stuck to the, spend $35, get free shipping, because I didn't want to get, too many new books, because, as I said, I am trying to read the books that I already have, and quite frankly, I am starting to run out of shelf space. I'm going to have homeless books, and I have a serious problem with unhauling. I'm trying to rectify that. I know that there are books in my collection that I am either never going to read, or I'm never going to finish reading. And sometimes you buy a book because it's, you go to a discount bookstore and you say, oh wow, that's only $2 and it's fantasy, let's get it because it sounds great. And then it sits on your shelf and you never look at it again. And I'm sure some of those books probably are great, but I don't know that I'm ever going to get to them. So that's my next goal, is to work on being able to unhaul books and not just hang on to every book that I buy, because I know there are certain books that either I'm never going to read them again because I've already read them and I only like them, or I didn't like them at all. There are books that I'm probably never going to read once and I just bought them because. So I'm going to try to do that. I wanted to say thank you to anyone who clicked on my first video, and anyone who's clicked on this video. I know that I still have a lot to learn about BookTube. I know that I'm still a little awkward. I have a lot to learn about editing and lighting and camera angles and all that stuff, and sound. But I am actually enjoying myself. For me to be so far out of my comfort zone, this has actually been a lot of fun. So I just want to thank anybody who has watched my video. Even if you didn't like or subscribe to my channel, that's fine. No pressure. I just appreciate even giving me a glance. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you will hear from me again soon. And until then, everyone, happy reading. Bye!